That's when my life found purpose. I knew that I was done with searching. Oh, when we fell in love, we left in love. Every time that I walk through the door, I fall deeper. Said I knew from the start, baby, you were a keeper. Even when you get on my nerves, I would never leave you. I would never leave you. Said I blessed the day when we met, girl, you sent me. I'm sorry, my computer is doing its own thing. My computer is doing its own thing this morning. I don't even know what's happening. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the Russians just have taken over. That's how I'm gonna blame it. The Republicans are not that bright, so I would say Russians. Good morning, finally. Oh my God, it was an ordeal this morning. Welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk on Babz Rawls-Ivy. I'm about 28 minutes late. I could not get this computer to do anything. And I think computers are sensitive, so I try to remain calm when I'm trying to like get on it so that I don't like stress it out. But I'm telling you, it just, I don't know what this is, Harry. And it's not an old computer, so I don't know why it's behaving like grumpy old man, get off my lawn kind of stuff. I don't know, Harry. Can I just give you my computer and you can sweep it or clean it? Is that a possibility? I don't know if I want to take it somewhere and get it done. I just feel like I need somebody who I could trust. Not to say I can't trust people, because I had to have my laptop fixed. But I had to take it back twice because it's a touch screen. And they didn't realize it was a touch screen. So I get it home, I'm trying to touch it, and it's not doing it. I was like, I have a touch screen. And they were like, oh, bring it back. So that was another 2 weeks. So I'm afraid to take my desktop in, which I could work from my laptop. Maybe that's what I got to do. I don't know. These computers are getting trickier and trickier. I don't want a whole new desktop. I just want to fix this one. It just probably needs to be like cleaned up. I'm sure of it. Humbug. All right. I'm here now. Drinking my Cafe Bustelo with cinnamon and MCT oil. I got to get my brain health tight. As you know, an aging brain is what'll give you Alzheimer's. So I'm trying to make sure all the things. I'm down a few pounds. I need to get down some serious pounds, but I know what my problem is. I just gotta address it. So I know what my problem is. Anyway. So a couple of things this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to the Elm. It's a rainy day in the neighborhood. It's a rainy day in the neighborhood. A rainy day in the neighborhood. A rainy day. Oh, it's a rainy day. It's gonna rain tomorrow too. And then we're gonna skate into the weekend gorgeously, which, is a delight. So the brothers last night or the night before raised some money. And they raised about $2.6 million in their call. Brothers is doing it. These brothers is like, and now I see white women didn't put the call out to gather white women for Kamala. I see you, white women. I see you. Get it, white girls. Get it. Because 56% of y'all voted for the grifter. So come on, leave the dark side and come on over to the light. That's all I'm saying. Come on over to the light. Come on over to the light. So yes. Yes indeedy. Yes indeedy, lemon squeezy. I'm enjoying this whole Kamala for president vibe. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. If the country seems energized. Even the press is acting better, you know. So I'm excited. I came across a quote this morning that made so much sense. And it's a quote by American novelist, writer, and journalist from 1908 to 1998, um, Martha Gellhorn. And I came across this quote this morning, and I just thought, this is exactly what I believe. This is what I say all the time. And this is the quote. People often say with pride, I'm not interested in politics. They might as well say I'm not interested in my standard of living, my health, my job, my rights, my freedoms, my future, or any future. If we mean to keep any control over our world and lives, we must be interested in politics. I love that quote so much. I'm gonna have it framed up. I'm gonna print it and have it framed up because this is what I believe. People often say with pride, I'm not interested in politics. They might as well say I'm not interested in my standard of living, my health, my job, my rights, my freedoms, my future, or any future. If we mean to keep any control over our world and lives, we must be interested in politics. I love that quote so much. I've got to I've got to I've got to print that up and and post it somewhere, hang it in my house, hang it at the front door, you know, because uh because I just feel that that's what it is, you know. I just believe in that so much. Uh I'm just so into it. And we've got to we've got to we've got to convince people that politics is for them. You know, everything is political. Everything. And you know, politics is really relationship to something and with something, you know. That's what politics is, you know. So people sort of not wanting to be engaged in politics, well, you might as well just you know, where you are buried is politics. How you are buried is politics. Someone has to make decisions about all these kinds of things. And if you're not making decisions, if you're not part of the decision-making process, then decisions are made without your input on your behalf. That's really what it is. Decisions are being made without your input on your behalf. So that means even if you don't make a decision, you make it a decision. I'm here to tell you, if you think you are not making the decision, if you think you're not being bothered by politics, if you think you're not engaged in politics, break a law. Try to do some stuff in your neighborhood without license or permission. You know what? So that's what I'm telling you. Politics is about the quality of your life. And if you care about the quality of your life, then you will be at the decision making. You will have a say. You will have a say. So I'm just saying, people, Here's your opportunity to be excited. If you have to be excited, if your attention span is such that you have to be excited, and entertained, well, then this is the moment for you. I've been voting since I was registered to vote, since I was 18 years old. And the majority of my life, I was not a Democrat. I was a registered independent. I didn't become a Democrat until I ran for office here in New Haven. And then when I ran for office in New Haven, I became a Democrat. So I've been a Democrat for the latter half of my life. So I'm just telling you, get on a team and you know what? You don't got to stay on a team, but you do have to vote. You do have to vote. And you have to vote for all the reasons why we keep telling you to vote, that people lay down their lives for this right, that you get to have a say in what happens. And maybe you don't like the outcome, but at least you had a say. Do you understand? You have to understand that part. You might not get what you want. It might not roll out the way you want, but you had a hand in sort of being counted for saying, this is what I want. Do you understand that? That's what voting is. You get to have a say. Not that your vote is going to guarantee you whatever it is you think you are entitled to or right or whatever. Your vote throws in your vote gets counted with a whole bunch of other votes that might go your way. And it might not go your way, but at least you was in the game. Sometimes the Mets don't always win. Sometimes the Lakers don't always win. Sometimes the Chicago Bulls don't win. Sometimes the Pittsburgh Steelers don't win. But they don't stop playing because tomorrow's another game. We have so much allegiance and loyalty to sports. I get it. People don't got no problems with sports metaphors and sports stuff. It's the same thing. You'll vote for your favorite team in a hot minute. So, and they don't even affect the quality of your life. Not in the ways that matter. It's entertainment. I'm just saying. Woo, child. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So I am Juan Castillo invited me to be a part of a campaign that he's about to run on WYBC with Voices of New Haven, people talking about why they are with Kamala. And I'm happy to be a part of that. So you will be hearing my voice on WYBC talking about why I'm voting for Sister Vice President Kamala Harris for president. And I'm thinking long and hard about what I want to say, because I'm in solidarity. So thank you, Juan Castillo, for even inviting me to participate. So you will be hearing my voice shortly on WYBC. And I'm no stranger to YBC. I got my start there. So cheers. So I'll come back wait, let me stay on a little bit longer. So J.D. Vance had the nerve to sort of say Kamala was a childless woman. I don't know where this man lives or who he talks to, but do you know how many women who choose not to have children in this country? Do you have any idea? Do you have any? I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. I've never birthed any children either. I've not birthed one child on this earth, not one. But I'm a mother to 4. So where do I fall? So are you talking about motherhood? Or are you talking about childbearing? I'm just trying to understand what the foolishness is. What is the foolishness? Because you can bear children and not raise children, or you can raise children and not bear children. So I don't know what that clown is talking about. He's gonna run up onto some woman who's gonna give him what for? Me mostly. So I'm just trying to understand that statement. So what do you mean? Explain this to me. So what does having children got to do with anything? I have agency and autonomy over my body. I don't need you to decide a damn thing. What if there's women out there there are women out there who are just not interested. There are women out there who are not able. There are women out there who are trying. So what's the offense for who are you trying to offend here? Just help me understand. And every woman who hears that mess ought to say something. I don't give a damn if you're a Republican or a Rasta Pasta. You have to say something about that kind of foolishness because they're not just talking about Kamala. They're talking about every woman that has a uterus and women who don't have uterus. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by, childless. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because are you trying to discredit trans women? Are you trying to discredit elderly women? I mean, what are you doing? What are you saying? Help me understand. Are you trying to discredit women with fertility issues? Are you trying to say that women who don't birth children are not women? Help me. I'm just trying to understand the foolishness behind that statement because I don't understand it. Because who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? See his stupidity. I mean, it's been apparent from jump, but it's going to be amplified now. You know, and not for nothing, Yale. Y'all are for like eight for O with these knuckleheads. Y'all have graduated from the law school. I don't know what kind of vetting y'all do. I mean, you must do pretty good vetting because I didn't get into that school. I applied, but I didn't get in. And 0 for 8, they must be 0 for 8. Sorry, Harry. I said 8 for O. 0 for 8. I didn't get into Yale Law School, which I'm starting to see now. That might not be a bad thing. Because the cast of characters I've seen with Yale Law School degrees, I'm not impressed. I'm not I'm not impressed. I think Yale needs to dig out their archives and put up all the folks who graduated from law school that they are actually proud of. Because if we hanging our hats on DeSantis and JD Vance, that might be a killer for enrollment. What y'all putting out over there? Woo! Oh, there's a couple of other dumbass Yaleys. I'm sorry. Isn't Supreme Court Justice a Yaley? Uh, 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 Grifter Clarence? Didn't he go to Yale? I'm not sure. I'm like, what is happening, Yale? Woo! I if I were you, I would do some public relations handling of we don't graduate all the stupid people. Look over here. We look at these people we've graduated. Don't look at the misfits. I'm just saying. That's all right. Listen, I applied because I knew I was going to get in. First of all, I can't go to school full time like that. I gotta go to school because I got work. I have jobs. So, when you're a working woman at my age, you just can't quit. I'm not quitting. I gotta fit law school in where it can fit in. So that's all I'm saying. So anyway, I don't know what JD Vance. So these women are gonna take him to task. They're gonna drag his ass across this country. And if he says more stuff like that again, and I'm looking at it, and just 2 years ago, he was he, he called Trump not a Hitler. How do you go from Hitler to that's my guy? I'm gonna work hard for him. You know why? Because power is seductive. Because you see the brass ring and you want to jump at it, and you're going to jump at it by any means necessary. Because this is one of the highest. This is the highest office in the land, and to be the leader of the free world, it's got to be seductive. When you saw Indiana Jones and he was trying to jump for the his father was shot and he was trying to reach uh uh the cup that Christ held and his father was like, let it go. Let it go. And then he thought about it. He was reaching for the wrong one, you know. So, okay, cool. See you then. So anyway, I'm just saying. He gonna get dragged. And not for nothing. He had a makeover. Did anybody notice JD Vance had a makeover? He's looking like one of them Trump kids. I think he had a little makeover. I think somebody said, "Look at here, look at here." You might claim to be a hillbilly, but you don't got to show up as a hillbilly. The Holy Grail. Thank you, Harry. The Holy Grail. Remember when Indiana Jones, he was going for the Holy Grail, and and his father was like, and his father was Sean Connery, and he was like, Indy, let it go. And he was reaching for the wrong one. He was reaching for the ornate one, and then he reached for the right one, and he got the right one. He got the right one. And uh so I just was like, okay, okay, okay. So that movie, all the Indiana Jones movies are metaphors for everything. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, huge. Although I didn't see the last one yet, but that's all right. On some rainy day, maybe tonight, I'll watch. I'll watch. But I'm making the point to say that this is how this is eliminating out for me, that the Republicans are on the wrong side of everything. And so when you get somebody like a Kamala Harris who points glaringly shows up as someone of big thought and ability and talent, it shows how small and no talent and rhetoric driven the other side is, you know. And you know, for me, I like intellect over a lot of things. I find intellect more attractive than good looks. Now, listen, I like good looks like anybody else. Don't get me wrong. I think Denzel Washington is one of the finest men to be, what, 70 years old or something. Gorgeous. you know Brad Pitt, gorgeous. George Clooney, gorgeous. There's a lot of these cats who are out here gorgeous. But I also appreciate intellect. I also appreciate, you know, brilliance. And I also appreciate people with a God consciousness. I do appreciate that a lot. Not zealotry. I don't go for these Bible thumpers, but I do appreciate people who could marry intellect, uh, 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 a sense of godliness and righteousness, and I appreciate a commonality with every man. I appreciate that. Like Dr. Barber is like my religious crush because I like the way he thinks. I like the way he moves in the world. I used to like Cornell West for intellect, but he has gotten on my nerves over the last decade. Particularly when he was hanging with that asshole Tavis Smiley. Um, so so Cornell has fallen out of my favor, but I still dig his intellect. I like Michael Eric Dyson for the same reasons. I like their intellect. I like Julianne Malvo. I like her intellect. I like her intellect. Janetta B. Cole. I like her intellect. Like I dig smart people. It gives me something to reach for. I like people who give me something to reach for, who don't allow me to stay satisfied in what I know. Do you know what I mean? Like I like people who pull me up out of what I think I know into a higher possibility. I love that. I love people who get me to a higher plane. Get me to a higher plane. I love it. I love it. And I'm like, oh, I learned something new. Hot dog. Oh, now I get to think about something else. So I love people who get me. Listen, I like Marianne Williamson for that purpose too, because she's raising some issues that ought to be raised. However, America may need a life coach, but we don't need a life coach right now, because we in the ring now. We in the 12th inning, the we in the 11th round. Child, we don't need a life coach. We don't need somebody to be like, okay. I appreciate I'm a spiritual director slash life coach. I get it. I get a good talking to and get people motivated and da, 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 da. Yeah, I get it. So I like Marianne Williams, but she can't be our president because I need something else underneath that. You know, I need something else underneath all that life coaching and all of that. So she's not it. But I don't think she should leave the stage. I think we could hear her and learn something from her, you know. But white women are problematic anyway. They always have been. So no, she's a white woman and she's got a platform. And she's not gonna leave the stage because her ego ain't gonna let her leave and she thinks she's righteous. So all right, I ain't mad at people who think they're righteous, because I think you got to be able to sort of listen to folks. Now, I don't listen to religious zealotry because I don't like that fire and brimstone kind of mess. Because I don't think you don't know more than I know about God. You just don't. Now, you might know more scripture, and I might challenge you on that, but you don't know more about God than I do, right? You just don't. And no one does. Everybody has their own vibe about that. So no one can come and say, well, I know this, that, and that. You could, but you don't. So I don't listen to religious zealotry too much because their interpretations oftentimes are in opposition to my humanity. So, so you know, and I'm on this thing right now where I can't really listen to men preach at me. I really can't do it. But there are some men who preach well, and I can hear it, particularly ones that lean toward the intellectual teachings of the gospels. I kind of like that. I don't really like cornerstone I don't like corner church kind of stuff. I don't like that. Not that I have respect for it. I just can't sit there and listen to people whatever do their thing. I got to listen to something with a little bit more, you know. I like my past minister, Rochelle Stackhouse, would marry the gospel with intellect and common sense. I like that kind of leaning. So anyway, back to JD Vance. So, he's just gonna sink himself deeper and deeper into a hole that he can't climb out of. How he got a Indian wife, I'll never know. I don't even know. And she is brown as she could be. So I don't know how this gonna fly with them MAGAs. I don't she gotta stay in the background or something. Cause I don't, listen, and she darker than Nikki Haley. I'm just saying. And listen, please, color matters in this country. We don't like this country doesn't like women, and they damn sure don't like dark women or women of color. So hey, I'm just telling you what I know. This country does not like women. But maybe we could start liking women again if we get a woman in leadership. And once you open the door to women in leadership, and we're the only country in the world that hasn't done it. There's been Margaret Thatcher. There's been women running countries over the all over the world. Way before we even. I don't know what it is about us. Well, I know what it is. It's white patriarchy. And that's just what it is. So, what are you gonna do? White patriarchy. That's what it is. We're gonna call this thing exactly what it is. What it is, what it is. So anyway, that was on my nerves. That was on my nerves. That whole JD Vance childless foolishness. She can't be a leader because she's childless. You don't sit, you don't sit your ridiculous looking like a Trump behind down. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So, it just this is an exciting time, and we needed some excitement. It's all right. And to all the people who are whining about uh Kamala, some kind of people are whining about they want to open election. What is wrong with y'all? I saw I didn't read the article fully, but I saw DTC chair Vincent Morrow. The process failed us. And I'm like, not for nothing. You are out of order, Mr. Morrow. Because let me tell you why. Because we already had a primary. She was already on the ticket. So when we voted for Biden Harris. So for me, we've already decided that we want her, because guess what happens when you're the vice president? In the event that the president could no longer do his duties or become incapacitated, the vice president takes the office. Hello. But we already said we have faith in her ability. Otherwise, this dude wouldn't be president, because we wouldn't like that choice. Right? I'm just saying. And to another thing, this was not I don't think this is how is this a backroom thing? She's the vice president of these United States. Who else would we choose? Who else? Who else? If your coach falls down in the game, the assistant coaches step in. What happened? When coaches get thrown out of games, guess who coaches? Assistant coaches. If the president becomes incapacitated, guess what happens? The vice president assumes the role. We come at this wrong. We think about this wrong. We can't even get people to elections on good days. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Y'all whine about a political process, and then when we exercise a political process, you still whine it. I'm not understanding, but it doesn't matter, because guess what happens? All the delegates have lined up and said, we are for her. We are for her. Even Nikki Haley's PAC said, oh, we're going to put our money toward this. Ain't damn thing Nikki Haley could do. What's she going to do? She done sold her soul to the devil. Her, DeSantis. I don't understand. Let me tell you something. There is no way I'm going to talk ish about somebody like yesterday and then jump up and say, oh, this is the best choice. They look crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, do they know this is recorded? Like, they would just split screen y'all all day. They jumped up on that GOP convention stage and just said all manner. I've never seen anything like it. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I'd be like, you know what? I would have made it. I would have just said, you know what? If y'all want this MFer, then have at it. I'm out. What are they gonna do? I wouldn't have been up there to do nothing. I would have been up there to not say one word. The way that they went on, child, these people are hypocrites beyond hypocrisy. Now, it's one thing to sort of say, I think I'm a better candidate than X. I get that. Because when you're running, you gotta say that. But they didn't say that. They went in saying he's the devil, he's the Antichrist, he's a scourge on the nation. They just went in. and then they had to eat all those words. So listen, I don't know. They better than me, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have been up there and just said, listen, y'all want this carnival barker? Have at it. I would have dropped the mic and left the stage. And then I would have got in my car and went home. If I would have shown up at all. Because there were some folks who didn't show up for the convention. Pence wasn't there. Pence was like, listen, the last time I was in that community, they was trying to lynch me. I think it's in my best interest not to go. And let me tell you something. JD Vance talking about if he was Mike Pence, he wouldn't have certified. What did they teach you at law school? I know they didn't teach you that stuff to usurp laws. I know they didn't teach you that. I know. I'm no lawyer yet, but I at least I know you can't do that. You say any. This is that moment when I'll say anything I need to say to get what I want. Talk about villains. They're not even good villains. Anyway, I'll just let it lie. You know what? Listen, it's not for me to dictate to the Republican Party how they should act accordingly. It is not for me. All I can tell you is that they got a fight on their hands. And they're gonna go as low as they could go. But what they don't realize is some of us will go right there with them. Not all of us, but there's a handful of us. Because we know in the black community, you got your friends who you rock with, and then you in your back pocket, you got people who, well, they don't ask no questions. And if you don't got friends like that, too bad for you. Because we all have to have friends who are like, listen, in the midnight hour with a shovel and some plastic, all right. It's like that scene in the Matt Damon Ben Affleck movie when he busts in, he talk about, listen, I gotta go do this thing. Don't ask no questions. You can't ask me any questions. You can't ask where we going. Are you in? I'm in. What car are we taking? I'm not suggesting violence or harm. That's not what I'm suggesting. I am a peaceful person until I'm not. What did Erica Badu say? Listen, don't let the incense and the good music fool you. I can go to Colt 45 and Newports in 2.5 seconds. And every black person in America understood that. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm going to tell you. 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 So I'm not mad at it. So, Harry, I'm just going to keep going since I was so late this morning. I'm not even going to take that break unless you tell me I should take a break. But, uh, you know. And let me tell you something else. Van Jones working hard to get his black card back. You see this? Van Jones is working hard. Van Jones has been on it. He's been riding for Kamala. I was like, look at Van Jones trying to earn. He trying to get him back invited to the cookout. Get it, Van Jones. I ain't mad at you. You know what, Van Jones? You one of us anyway. We was never gonna keep you outside. We might not let you make a plate, but you could come to the cookout. Van Jones been riding her, and he been cutting people down. Van Jones. It's like that Dave Chappelle sketch about oh God, his name just escaped me. Damn it. I have to come back to that commentary. But anyway, Van Jones is hot. He is hot. Van Jones is hot. I don't mean like he's good looking or anything. But he was on the call. Van Jones, he earning that black card back. He earning that black card. Yeah. So I see you. I see you, Van Jones. So anyway, he been riding hard for her. Van Jones is out here stomping. He's stomping on these people. I'm like, okay. Oh, let me say this too. Donna Brazil is a very good looking black woman. She is good looking. But people from New Orleans, they have a whole different aura about them. It feels, when I talk to people from New Orleans or anybody from Louisiana, I always feel the ancestors' presence when I'm talking to people from Louisiana, specifically Baton Rouge and New Orleans and all the places. And it is distinctive to me. And even people who are descendants of people from Louisiana, I feel it. Like I remember when I first met Karen DeBose Walton, I didn't know her roots were Louisiana, but I always felt that connection to her. Like I always felt like she has some ancestral vibe to her. And I come to find out her roots are deep Louisiana. I see it in Beyonce too. Like I see it in these people who got that vibe. Uh so anyway, Donna Brazil speaks to that to me. And she's beautiful. Look, her skin and her hair color. I'm like, and I don't really know how old Donna Brazil is. You can't really tell with black women. Like I mean, she could be 40 to 70. I have no idea. But she is good looking. And I love the way she talks because if you ever talk to people from Louisiana, it's very melodic. It always as if they've got music coursing through their veins. I don't care who I talk to, when I'm in New and then when I'm in Louisiana, I take on a Louisiana patois. Oh shit. You can't help it. I mean, I don't know if white people could do it, but when you're talking to white Louisiana people, it's in them too. You know, I've never seen so many white people claim to be Creole in my life until you go to Louisiana. Honest to God, they are like, we are about it. But so anyway, I say that to say I saw Donna Brazil on TV. I was like, Jesus, that woman looks good. Her skin is just stunning. And her hair color, that white, silver, fox vibe. Woo! She got it going. Storm ain't got nothing on her. She ain't got nothing on Storm. Let me tell you something. If they cast Marvel again, it got to be Donna Brazil in that role. I'm telling you, she naturally white haired and caramel colored skin or cafe au lait or whatever you want to call that. Mocha, whatever. It's stunning. So I'm just saying. So yeah, so I've been watching people are feeling some kind of way. George Clooney is happy. I think the Democrats told George Clooney, listen, you need to go talk. You need to tell the president because we in the circle, we can't really do it like that, but you could do it. Because I was mad. I was like, who the hell is George Clooney to be telling anybody? But then he raised a lot of money. So he raised a lot of money, you got a little say. Maybe. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Yeah, but I never thought that Biden would cave, but it's neither here nor there now because he did it, and I ain't mad at him. And you know what? He got a solid record to stand on. He did a J. Cole. I like it. You know, anything is listen. Now it says anything is possible in politics. If you didn't know that before, now you know. And then I watched Kamala come on. Her husband introduced her. She was in where was she in Michigan, Wisconsin? She was somewhere. And they had and Beyonce was like, yeah, baby, use all my songs. Cause the Republicans ain't got no music. They got what's his face? Lee Greenwood. That's the only song they allowed to play. They can't play nobody. I tell you, Bruce Springsteen said, you use one of my songs, I'm gonna kick your ass. The boss was like, I'm not even playing. Don't even hum it. Bruce Springsteen said, I will come and kick your ass if you play one of my songs anywhere in that convention or any rally. I will come and beat your ass. And he was not playing. Don't even hum it. If I hear wind of you humming the tune, I'm going to come beat your ass. So they're not messing with him. They can't play nobody's song. There's no song that the Republicans have. They got Lee Greenwood. And Lee Greenwood is like 90 got zillion years old. And they played him off because he was running his mouth. I watched some of the GOP convention. They played him off for getting ready to play his song. They played him off the stage because he was just running his mouth trying to introduce Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was sitting in the wings, antsy, annoyed. And he's like, get this guy off the stage. They got one artist, and maybe Kid Rock. I don't even know. What is Kid Rock's music? What is that? So they can play Kid Rock. They can play Lee Greenwood. Who else? Who else they can play? They can play. I think there's one other person. But Kamala, Beyonce said, "Listen, use whatever you want to use, baby. You could use my music." So she came out there on Freedom. You know, Freedom. I was like, oh. Woo! I was like, okay, this is you hitting them, you hitting them, you hitting them with some real music. And there's a you think Stevie Wonder would let Kamala use any of his music or anybody in the world? I know there's people right now be like, listen, I'll come sing, I'll do whatever. What do you need me to do? What you need me to do? What you need me to do? Listen. And you know the lyrics to Freedom. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Singing freedom, freedom, where are you? Because I need freedom too. I break chains all by myself. Won't let my freedom rot in hell. Hey, I'm going to keep running. Because a winner don't quit on themselves. Child, she came out to that. What are you going to do with that? You can't put a Lee Greenwood song up against that. You cannot put a Lee Greenwood song up against Beyonce. They ain't got no music. I can't trust a party that ain't got no soundtrack. You ain't got no soundtrack. Don't got no music. Don't got no music. And ain't nobody trying to sign up to play music for them. I mean, they're like Kid Rock and Lee Greenwood. Who else? Somebody run me a list of all the GOP artists who are willing to. And Kamala should have the Dixie Chicks. I don't think they call themselves Dixie Chicks now. They call themselves Chicks, right? They should come and do a song. Remember they was getting death threats because people was mad at them. I would bring them on stage, be like, "Go ahead, girl, do your songs." Mm. So we won on the soundtrack, and uh she was at a record shop bookstore the other day, Vice President Kamala Harris, and she bought 4 albums. She bought Mingus, which anybody who likes Mingus is got my vote all day. So she bought a Mingus album. She bought the Roy Ayers Everybody Loves the Sunshine album. Are you kidding me? Right, that alone. Yeah, listen, whoever don't know what these are, just Google them and put them on your Spotify. I just I need people to get their music game up. And she bought 2 other albums that I was like, now I have these 2 albums. No, I don't think I have the Mingus album. I have Mingus, but I don't have the one that she bought. Now I'm gonna go to the record store and go find it because I'm a Mingus fan. I'm a jazz fan, so that's neither here nor there. But she got a nice musical taste. And then I realized, we are the same age. So, well, you know, we are the same age. So I like that. And she's the vice president is sexy. So, Maya Rudolph is gonna have a lot of work to do on she's gonna have some work for Saturday Night Live. I can't I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, so Elon Musk is like, oh, wait a minute. Let me pull my checkbook a little back. Let me pull my checkbook back toward me. So Elon is apparently backing out of his pledge to donate 40 million a month to Donald Trump. I I I don't know why people think that he would you know, I don't understand why people believe anything that he says. He's a grifter too. But he's still contributing. Then he ain't pull all his money away. He's like, you know, and that's a lot of money to be telling somebody you're gonna get them every month. Give nobody 45 million a month. I don't care who they are. But that's just you know, anyway, I don't know. You don't know what the truth is with these people, you know. So we don't know what the truth is. And Netanyahu is coming to America. I think uh I think this is gonna be a game changer and because some of the world has withheld their shipping and their shipping arms and stuff to Israel. And because we never get the news the way we should get the news. But there are dock workers in parts of the world who will not touch these arms in shipping containers. So they are sitting on docks all around the world because the workers are like, we're not helping you kill people. Now they steady killing people, don't get me wrong, and bulldozing things. They are, whatever. But I guarantee you, uh, and I think Biden could probably, set this up for alley-oop for Kamala, have a conversation with Netanyahu to like stop this. You need to get to peace right now. You know, you're gonna have to get to peace and stop killing these people wholesale because that's what you're doing at this point. I don't if you believe that this is the best way to get the hostages back, and you think this is the best way to settle, then I could no longer be friends with you or talk to you if that's what you think. Because I just cannot stand on that. Then I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are because I don't think you need to. That's not how you end terrorism. You know, I don't think that's a way to do it. And I'm not a diplomat and I don't run nobody's country. No country. I run the United States of Babz Rawls-Ivy. I have no weapons of mass destruction. So I will say uh, that you cannot keep killing people wholesale like this. You just can't do it. And that the world is watching is on us. And so they need to get the peace and ceasefire immediately. Immediately. Because I don't know what this is. You know, for me, this is about, eradicating a group of people um, that you hate. You know, this is eradicating a group of people that you hate, and you have the means and the power to do so. And the idea is to kill as many as you can in a quick period of time before the world turns on you. But the damage is already done. See, here's for me, the damage is already done. Like the damage is done. These people are displaced and the hospitals are destroyed, universities are destroyed, communities are destroyed, like destroyed, you know. And the world has to sort of make the world has to sort of find their conscience and deal with this, you know. And not just in Israel, Gaza, but in the Congo, in the Sudan. I mean, you've got to find your conscience, and all of this, because you know, uh, people are being killed wholesale, and that that how can that be a path to peace? How can that be a path? It's just inhumane, and it's unfortunate, but this is who we are as people. And we all have to own a bit of this. I'm not fired not one gun or lobbied one rocket or bomb against anybody, but I have to bear some responsibility for what is happening in the world if I don't say, don't do this in my name. you know, and don't use my taxpayer to kill people. Don't use my tax money to kill people. You know, I'm just saying. We could get to peace real quick. We have to get to peace. So, and peace meaning stop killing these people. Stop killing these people. Stop killing these people. So, I'm just saying. So, it's just a lot. It is just a lot. And it's just a lot. So, anyway, that's what I'm gonna say. So, I'll be interested to see how this conversation with and people are lined up to protest, and they should. You know, protesting is a cornerstone of our democracy. It's one of the cornerstones of our democracy in this country. So people are protesting, and they should protest. He shouldn't receive a warm welcome. He should drive in and see all these people standing out there saying, you're wrong for this, and that's fine. As long as nobody tries to harm him. But listen, see these signs. So there's that part. So the other thing that's got me troubled this morning is the way uh this is another thing that bothers me so much. And I had to steel myself uh about it because it was just so painful. So y'all know the Sonia Massey case. She called uh she called the police because she believed somebody was breaking into her house. The police get there and they kill her. So the cat who shot her, the police officer who shot her, said in his statement that she was gonna throw hot water on him, and that she said, "Jesus, I rebuke you," or some old thing, and was gonna throw hot water. However, the body camera says otherwise. The body camera said she put her hands up and she was afraid, and he shot her anyway, and shot her for whatever reasons. Now, this cat has a history. He done been fired from 6 other police departments. Now he's charged with murder. And honestly, I am not a violent woman, but I tell you, I wish someone could just beat his ass. But you can't do that. Can't we can't be white people. We can't be white people. So there you go. But he in Illinois. So there's this weird loophole when people leave police departments that they could go and apply in other police departments. It has to be, if you molest children, that follows you. If you molest children in California, you can't come and be a school teacher in Connecticut because it will follow you. You can't be a child molesting teacher or coach or somebody in Connecticut and then go do it in other places. It follows you. So if you are a police officer that has a habit of just violence against, I'm not even going to say just against Black people, which this seems to be the case with this cat. But if you are a police officer with a history of violence, I really think you should not ever be a police officer ever again. Ever again. She was a 36-year-old Black woman who was fatally shot in her home by Deputy Sean Grayson of the Sangamon County Sheriff's. and in Woodside Township near Springfield, Illinois. And it's a homicide. First-degree murder, 3 counts, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. So she placed a 911 call to a possible prowler on her property. Deputy Sean Grayson, the shooter, and an unidentified deputy entered Macy's home following a search of the immediate vicinity. The three engaged in brief conversation surrounding Massey's driver's license and her vehicle in her driveway. After Grayson directed Macy to check on the boiling pot of water on her stove, the deputies quickly escalated, with both drawing their service pistols, with Grayson screaming he would shoot her in her effing face. And Gracie then shot Macy 3 times, killing her. Following the shooting, Gracie was fired from the second and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. So they tell her to check her pot of boiling water. She goes to check the pot. What did they thought she was going to do? I mean, she's cooking. So what did she think they go? Were they afraid that she was going to throw water on them? I'm not understanding this. So they find no evidence of suspicious activity or persons. They go to her front door. They knock a couple of times. After a few minutes, she opens the door. She has a conversation with them. They told her they haven't found anything. While she was used her cell phone. As the deputies prepared to end the exchange, the unidentified officer walked around the side of Macy's house to report the license plate number of a vehicle in her driveway that Macy informed deputies was not hers. So she and Grayson continued to engage in conversation. After the unidentified officer walked back to Macy's front door, the three enter Macy's residence. Inside the home, she repeatedly asked Macy to provide her driver's license and discussed the vehicle parked in her driveway. As the unidentified deputy looked around the residence, Macy could be seen looking through a small stack of papers in her purse. At one point, Macy asked Grayson to hand her a Bible. After around a minute and a half of searching, the deputies mentioned a pot of boiling water on her stove and request that she check it, as they don't need a fire while they're here. After Macy picks up the pot of water and walks from her stove to her sink, the unidentified deputy and Grayson move backwards. Macy asks the officers what they're doing, as why they are backing up. So Grayson replies that he's distancing himself from a pot of hot boiling water. So she repeats herself and says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." After Macy repeats her statement at Grayson's prompting, Gracie draws his gun and replies, "You better effing not. I swear to God, I'll effing shoot you right in your effing face." Now, she wasn't doing no such thing. She was. So she apologized by saying, "Okay, I'm sorry," as she drops to the floor behind the kitchen counter. However, both deputies advance from the living room towards the kitchen with their weapons trained on her. And after several seconds of shouting orders her to drop the pot of water, Grayson fires 3 shots at Macy's, wounding her. So Macy may be holding a pot of water above her head right before the shot. Nobody is holding no pot of hot water over their heads to throw it at nobody. That's some foolishness. So the unidentified deputy radios that shots have been fired and there was a woman with a headshot wound. They begin to leave to grab their medical kit. However, Grayson tells them not to, saying that she's done. Macy was later pronounced dead. So there's a whole body cam. So who's how many people were, who's in prison? Black people were in prison. So, he's gonna be dealt with because he's going to prison. Unless he has the courage to kill himself. He's going to prison. He don't have no courage. And I don't want him to kill himself. I want him to catch a beat down. That's me personally. I know. Not a very Christian thing to say. I get it. I know. You don't even got to write me or send me a message. I know it's not a Christian thing to say. But let me tell you what I know. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of black women and black people being killed at the hands of police officers. I'm just tired of it. Nobody else is being killed like this. And if there are, please put it out there and let me know. So because I will happily stand corrected. And maybe police officers kill more white people and other people and whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. This is just terrible. Just terrible. You know, just terrible. So, there's a lot to be in America is to be in a constant state of rage. James Baldwin. That's the truth. We don't even know how much racism we absorb on a daily basis that affects us. We don't even know. So there's that. And then in New Haven news, there's a shooting up in on Wayfair Street, you know. No, I don't think anybody's dead, but they were hit with a bullet in their arm. So there's that part. You know, ugh, these are the times. These are times. There's a piece up on the New Haven Independent on why Kamala Harris should pick Chris Murphy. Why? So he could walk his way across America? I like Chris Murphy. I think he's very talented. I don't think he could get through the vetting process. I don't think he has it in him. Plus, he need a makeover. You know, he need a lot to get him prime time ready. And I'm not saying he's not talented. He probably is quite talented, but he need a makeover. I don't know if he could make it through the vetting process. Don't ask me why. Just I hear things. My money is on Josh Shapiro, the Pennsylvania governor. My money is on him, you know. But, Chris Murphy, progressive, effective debater, a critique of private equity takeover of key human services and economic concentration more generally, and a leader on gun control, an issue that Republicans have waltzed around despite Trump's near miss assassination attempt. I'm surprised that they not, I'm not surprised. And he would sweep the floor with Murphy. I mean, he would sweep the floor with JD Vance. I mean, but anybody could sweep the floor with JD Vance, really. That's not gonna be a heavy lift. I mean, he'll just stand up there and lie, 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 because that's what they do. Um, but Murphy would be an effective match for Vance, and it would elevate someone who is thinking about new ways to broaden Democratic appeal and speak to middle class anxieties. So I don't know. I like Gretchen Whitmore, but this country hates women. So I don't think they will appreciate two women on a ticket. Although I like Gretchen Whitmore too. She got a lot of courage and she's attractive and smart. So smart, attractive, all the things. But and she won 48% of the male voters in where she is. So I like her, but I know they're not gonna put two women together. I just know America. I just know America. Even though she is a white woman, but they have so little regard for women and even less regard for white women. So they're not gonna pick her. So when people make these comparisons and do all of this, they just leave out, the truth of things. I need somebody to like say the truth of things, you know. I need people to say what the truth is, and they won't. So they won't say America hates women, because there'll be somebody like, no, no, no. And so I was just reading Robert Kuttner's piece up on the New Haven Independent. So I appreciate it, but it's not rooted in truth. That's all. I understand why you would write something like that and you'd be like, yeah, this, these are the facts and these are what it is. But you can't leave out that America hates women. So they might have buy one, but they're not gonna buy two. They're just not. They're just not. So, you know, uh and not gonna have two black people either. So you can forget that. Because I like Maryland's Westmoreland, but he's not gonna make that ticket either. Uh so anyway, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just put it up there, you know. So, uh, uh we uh we uh we don't like to talk about things in terms of through a race lens and through a gender lens. what what happens is when you write these kinds of stories, you just write from a white man's lens. Oh, I don't see anything else. I see nothing else. This is what it looks like for me. All right, white man. Okay. So, Joy Reid posted up the Fred Kaplan's piece from yesterday about Netanyahu's visit to Washington is already a debacle. Why he's been in front of Congress 4 times. Why is he coming back? What does he want? What do you want? Because you know what we're gonna say? We're not giving you no more weapons to kill people. That's what's gonna happen. That's really what's gonna happen. We'll see. You know. So anyway, I'm just gonna go with it. There are this moment is really oh, okay. Um let me tell you what I'm gonna love about this political moment, with JD Vance and Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and whoever she picks. Because there's a piece up um about you know how white people are loving to say it's the immigrants who are the problem for stuff. JD Vance's mom was stealing pain pills from the hospital where she worked to feed her opioid addiction. And but somehow or other, people was blaming this on illegal immigrants and not Purdue Pharma and other pharmaceutical companies who knowingly and intentionally pushed it on people. So, according to the US government, about 99% of fentanyl brought into the country across the southern border is brought in by American citizens, not Mexicans or immigrants. 99% white people bringing in these drugs. Now, I get that opioid addiction is a problem. So is crack cocaine, but okay, I digress. I digress. Anyway, I'm just in other news, did you see on the coast of New Hampshire a whale capsized a boat? See, I don't mess around with ocean wildlife like that. And this is rare. So, you know what I say? Humans are not good stewards of the earth. And so I think, and I could be wrong, I'm not an oceanographer, I'm not a forest person, I'm not a scientist, I'm just playing one on the radio. I think, that the earth is fighting back against humans. And the earth is using all of earthly tools to do it. The fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, they're fighting back. That's what I think. They feel like we've encroached too much into the places and spaces where they live and and procreate. And the earth has to do something about this. So the boaters are fine, and I think they was just in the waters with the whales were trying to eat, and they were disrupting that. And the whales are like, listen, what you're not gonna do. So uh a good Samaritan helped them, you know. I do think we're not good stewards of the earth, and the earth is retaliating. We're pushing back on human encroachment. That's all. If you don't believe me, look at all these sharks all over the place, and this and I know people like to say, well, it's just an isolated incident, just one incident. How many incidents do we need to see it as a problem? Like how many times we gotta see something happen before we recognize that this is not right? I don't know. Okay. I'm here for it. Listen, I'm not on a boat. Rarely am I on a boat. I'm not saying people shouldn't be on a boat. I'm saying I'm not on a boat. I'm not fishing. So that's all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. I just got a lot to you know. Listen, I'm with them. There's an opinion piece up by Laura. I'm all over the place, so y'all follow along. Follow along. Follow along. Democrats should not fear running a woman. Heck, they should run too. I believe that too. But I also know white patriarchy is a thing. And white men don't like women. So there you go. So I like it, but I also know America doesn't like women. So they might be able to abide one woman, but I don't know if they could abide a bunch of women. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. Wild. Everything is wild. Wild, wild, wild. Wild. I don't know what to make of it. But it's exciting and it's a good time to be alive. And I'm so glad that I'm alive in this moment to see and bear witness. You know, I mean, I got to see Barack Obama become president 2 times. And I thought that was, all there was. You know, I thought that would be the capstone of my history in this alive and well in the world. But whoa, baby, Kamala Harris. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now, because they don't know. What did Biggie say? If you don't know, now you know. They don't know nothing about Divine Nine. They just don't know anything about it. So it's coming. So be ready. We're gonna talk tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna have Lee Cruz on. He's gonna talk about the community leadership program and how in ways and how you could learn about this city and be a part of making New Haven uh, to um, continue to keep America thriving and growing with your input. So he'll be on tomorrow. I'm gonna go and shore that up, but he'll be on tomorrow. And I had a good time. I got to talk about some issues that I cared about. Stay with me. We moving. We moving. We moving. We moving. And freedom, freedom. So see how we somebody gonna get a Kamala playlist going. Cause we have all the artists on our team. So we got a huge musical library to choose from. GOP, not so much. They got Kid Rock and Lee Greenwood. I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow.
I don't wanna be a fighter, but you giving me no choice. What you do